Hey there, I'm Di, and today is a Create This Book episode, but today's a little bit different because it's in collaboration with Rose Requin Crafts. I hope I pronounced Requin right. Sorry Rose if I got it wrong. I'm going to leave a link down below for the video that Rose does. Go check her out. She's got a great sense of humour and she does some really fun projects. So for this collaboration, we've actually chosen a prompt for each other that we have to complete. Then we get to choose a prompt of our own, but we have to pick each other's theme, colour palette, and also medium. And the other difference too is I'm on Create This Book 2, whereas Rose is on Create This Book 1. Let's check out what Rose wants me to do today. We are doing page number 84, create a repurposing.
Give bits of wrappers and or packaging a new purpose on this page.
For that, I have brought some chocolates in some colours that I thought quite pretty. So I was working really hard last night getting my art supplies ready by eating the chocolates inside. Lucky me! I've also got this packet of Fruity Chews. I actually wanted Starburst. They're no longer making Starburst, which is such a bummer because they have really pretty wrappers. So this is the closest I could get. So let's get into this. A few wrappers still need to be emptied out. So good. I want to turn these sweet wrappers into fabric for some dress designs. So in order to make some dresses, I will need a dressmaker's mannequin. I sketch out a basic shape with no details or shading, as most of it's going to get covered up anyway. Then using a nice thick micron, I go over it, plus trace a second mannequin from the first, as I'll design two separate garments. Then I just cut them out and we're ready for the wrappers. I don't want the writing from the wrappers to be a part of it, just the floral design along the edges. So I cut off those parts from both the blue and the pink wrappers. After cutting just a few of the wrappers, it occurs to me I won't need too many to make this little dress. And I probably didn't need to eat quite so many chocolates. Oh well, damage is done now. I use a glue stick, which is happening out of the frame. Well done, Di. And stick the wrappers on in a layered effect for a fitted bodice. For some reason, the colours of this dress are familiar. Then I remember Disney's Sleeping Beauty when two of the fairies are fighting over what colour to make Aurora's dress. It's kind of giving me those vibes. Anyway, skip ahead to where I've already assembled the skirt part of the dress, because apparently I forgot to hit record. Seriously. But all I did was cut off more of the floral print of the wrappers, but left the clear cellophane bit on to act as ruffles, and layered them so it would look a bit like a rah-rah skirt type thing. That's what we used to call them back in my day. Then I cut it to shape and glued it onto the mannequin. Finally, I glued the whole thing into the book. Next, we have the Fruity Chew wrappers. First, I have to unwrap them. I'm not going to sit here and eat them. Well, at least not all of them. I'll just steal their wrappers and pop the lolly part away for later. Code for I'll eat them while filming and editing. Like the other wrappers, I don't want the writing on them. Had they been proper Starburst, I would have kept the pattern. But for these, I'll just use the coloured part. I'm going to layer this dress too, but I want to go for an asymmetrical design. Plus, utilise the square shape of the wrappers and give this garment really straight lines and right angles, especially on the top part of the bodice. I liked how the colours were draping in long lines, but changed direction slightly at the waist, just to accentuate the curve slightly, and then add more wrappers to make the dress a bit longer. I really would have liked this dress to be floor length, but I don't think it's going to fit in the book. So to continue the asymmetrical thing going on, I cut it off at an angle. Finally, to finish it off, I popped on a yellow belt and glued that into the book next to the other design. And there we have it, sweet wrapper dresses. Not a terribly grand design, but fun nonetheless. Let's get straight on to the next prompt that I've chosen, which is create a wish. And Rose's rules for me are cottagecore theme, earth tone colour palette, and watercolour paint. Now, I do have watercolour paper, which would be ideal, but at 300 GSM, it's very thick and bulky. So instead, I've got some mixed media paper here, which at only 190 GSM, it's not going to bulk out my Create This Book quite so much. So I rip a sheet out, fold it in half, and bust out some washi tape to give me a guide of the usable page size, leaving a spot for the prompt. Now, in my very rough sketchbook, lots of old project plans and ideas, I practiced a few ideas for this prompt. I want an old brick well, a cute little fox, and a hedgehog. These are the foxes I started with, and yes, some of them are terrifying. I've had a bad habit in the past of scribbling out things I don't like, which doesn't help me record my progress very well. So now I just label them. I tried a few more, but I thought I needed to simplify them even more, as I wanted the watercolours to shine. So I watched a tutorial by Draw So Cute, which I'll link it below, and that's where this little hedgehog has come from. Then tried copying a fox image online to give me a feel for the side view, as I normally just draw things straight on, then tried to change it up to be my own. Once I was happy, it was time to sketch out the whole thing. So my vision is of a little fox and a hedgehog at an old wishing well in a meadow, come forest clearing, where they have come to make a wish. Maybe the hedgehog is wishing not to be chased by the fox, and maybe the fox is wishing not to be misunderstood and make a friend. Once the sketch is all done, I take a kneaded eraser and roll it over the picture to lighten the line work just a bit. As for my paints, I'm gonna use this super basic set, because, you know, I'm a basic sort of girl. But really, I'm using them because the only other watercolours I own are in tubes, and I'm feeling too lazy to mix up the paint in the colours I want. No, I'm not too lazy. I'm prioritising my efforts and time into the artwork itself. Now, I'm gonna be real for a minute here. Well, I'm always real, but just extra real. This project is coming off the back of another project I finished filming that I'm not feeling great about. I haven't published that video yet as it's not quite ready, but the artwork I did for it, I didn't do well, and it got my confidence feeling a bit low. So when I saw the prompts that Rose gave me for this, I was excited to be doing cottagecore and earthy tones, but watercolours and I don't get along too well. Don't get me wrong, I love watercolour art. I love watching it being done, I love the finished pieces, and I love the idea of doing it. I've just got no bloody idea what I'm doing. But I thought, well, cottagecore, earthy tones, watercolours, they all go together really well. So let's try and be positive and a little proactive. So, as well as practicing the sketches, I painted a few of them, and by some miracle, they turned out pretty good. I kept it simple, tried not to overwork the paint, and after hastily watching a few watercolour tips and tricks videos, I applied some techniques that worked, like letting blocks of the paint dry before going in to paint a piece next to it, like on the brickwork of the wishing well, and using a clean wet brush to lift colour off to lighten certain areas. So my confidence on this piece is actually feeling pretty good at this stage. I still did stop and take pictures at different stages, just in case I fluffed it up. Then I could look back at the photo and know it looked good at some point. But I kept going, and it kept looking nice, like really nice. I'm feeling proud of this piece. I hope it hits the mark of cottagecore theme. When I think of cottagecore, I think of adorable little woodland animals, red brick cottages, bare wooden fences, green shrubbery, flowers and mushrooms. And the earthy tones Rose gave me made this picture so easy to achieve. And I'm just about finished. I painted a basic tree on the sides just to frame the scene a little. Then I went back in with a finely sharpened black pencil to outline and draw on the details for the little characters. Pooh, let's name the hedgehog Peanut and the fox Buddy. Peanut Buddy. Get it? No? Sorry. In creating this pair, making a wish, I've kind of been granted my own wish, and that's to learn how to do watercolour painting. And I will say, even though this set of watercolours are a cheap set, probably meant for kids, it didn't stop me having fun and creating something that makes me happy. Once it was all done and the washi tape is removed, I had a little think, and I have an idea for the hedgehog. He's supposed to have his hands together in a little wishing pose, but if I just paint a little golden coin in there, it now looks like he's about to pop his coin into the well. Then with some glue, I pop it into the book. And I do something I've never done before and add some colour to the prompt. Oh my goodness, looks so darn cute. I'm really proud of it. Well, that's all from me. Don't forget to check out Rose's video to see if I gave her prompts that were as good as the ones she gave me. Oh, good luck, Rose.